Hello and welcome back to the Fields of Tyrone and the Real-Ish-Tic series. It is now April 1, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm sure there's some jobs to be done. Let's jump in, let's go. So, first thing today, you might notice, top center, we've got a new little HUD addition. This is our human traits or human factors mod. This is by Cartech. It's still WIP. There is a copy off to Giants for testing, so you might see this very soon. And what this does is this adds in in its description it refers to as lightweight needs. So you have hunger, you have thirst, and you have fatigue, and it can also introduce wages if you wish to turn that on. We don't have wages active for us because we just run on our own farm. It introduces a eat menu where you can have a full, small, or light meal. There's a drinks menu, water, coffee. You also carry around a water bottle with you as well. There is a rest action, so when we go to sleep, we can rest. So when we say pass forward time in the middle of the day when we go for our lunch, we'll progress the time an hour and we will rest for an hour and we will regain some fatigue. There's there is like a cost to this, all of this. I think coffee is like £2.50 a coffee. Everything has a cooldown. So if we went and we had something to eat, depending on the size of the meal we chose to eat, there would be a cooldown on how often we can do that. And also depending on the difficulty. I think on easy, if we eat like a snack or a small meal, it's like a 2-hour cooldown. On normal difficulty, which we're on, there's a 3-hour cooldown, so we can have something to eat every 3 hours. If you're on hard, it's every 4 hours. And with coffee, again, on easy, we can have a cup of coffee every 2 hours. Or for normal, which we're on, we can have a coffee every 3 hours. And that will help our thirst, and it will help with our fatigue. So it relieves some fatigue. And on hard, it's every 4 hours. I think I've got to try and remember now. Coffee reduces fatigue by 20% on easy, 15 on normal, 10% on hard. And if thirst is enabled, which we've got thirst on, it then reduces 10% of thirst as well. You can rest every 4 hours, so we can just take a rest. So if we're sitting in the tractor and there's nothing to do and we want to progress time, we can take a rest. But we can't take another rest for 4 hours. So that's like our break in the day. I'm trying to think what else there is. Our water bottle that we have holds 1 litre of water. We can take a sip at a time, as what it's classed as. And a sip is 250 millilitres. So we can have 4 sips out of a bottle. We have to refill the bottle at home by... if I hop the fence... I've got to try and remember the controls now. What I'll do, I'll stand here and I'll quickly bring the controls up. So if we press... I've got to get this right now. You'll see, top right, my bottle is full. So I've got 1 litre, as it says at the centre as well. We've got 1 litre of water. I'm not very thirsty, so I'm not going to drink from it. 4%. Our thirst goes up by 10% an hour. So within 10 hours, we will become completely thirsty. If we eat a large meal, that will replenish our full thirst as well. So it's just something else for us to manage. And also it shows our worked hours, which I think coincides with our fatigue. Or that might be for our wages. Nope, that's just for how many hours we've got. I had a little look. We haven't got our wages on, so yeah, I thought it was turned off, so it's not on. So that's something we're going to try and manage. I've now popped the controls up on my other screen, so hopefully I can get that done. There was something else. I've introduced another mod, but because I put that one in, I've forgotten what the other one is. But we have another mod. Also, what I wanted to ask is, do you know, because I saw that we have a new moisture mod, or an updated moisture mod than I'd missed it when it originally came out. There is a moisture mod, and that enables things like bale rotten. If you leave bales out unattended. If you leave bales out in fields and stuff like that, they will start to rot. If they get wet, they'll increase their rotten factor. I'm not sure what they'll do about these mods. And it also affects these bales, sorry. It also affects, if it affects stored bales, but it also affects, obviously, the moisture of your crop and the yield that you get from that. Now, my question is, I've only just, and we haven't really used it, I've only just introduced harvesting experience or combine experience, because I was going to have that affect sort of our combine and our yields and how that works and the speed and stuff like that. Does anyone know if they conflict? Because they are very similar, will that conflict? Because I think I'd rather have the management of bale rotting than worry about my combining, because combining is going to be a small part of what we're doing. And with the moisture effects being added in with obviously the moisture mod and how that'll affect combining, I'm not too worried if that really reduces the time we have to combine, because at the minute we've only got 2 small, relatively small fields of arable that we're going to be harvesting. It doesn't matter if it takes like all month to get it in, and you know, if we get desperate, then I can just, you know, be a bit naughty and we'll just slow down time as I do it. Not that I like doing that, but yeah, that was the thing. But I haven't activated that because I'm not sure if that would conflict. If you know, let me know in the comments. I sorted these out. Okay, I sorted this out. I tidied it all up. As you see, I've tidied it all up. The straw that was loose has all gone in there. I couldn't get a bale, despite the fact that this does say on it, despite the fact that it does say there's straw. I went around with the bale shredder and a bale all the way around this, couldn't find it, couldn't get it to trigger on anything, and I then even spawned in a regular bale instead of a square, but I spawned in a round bale and couldn't get that one to shred and unload anywhere either. So that's in there. So you do have a little extra, like a couple of thousand litres of straw for bedding in there. But I don't know if that is going to cause us an issue with these cows. I don't know. I really don't. I really don't know. But I sorted this out. I tidied this all up and I stacked it up like I did before. And for some reason, as soon as they went 4 high, you can see the back ones that still fell over. As soon as they went 4 high, they all just popped and fell over and started to lean and dance about. Now, they didn't do that before. That is quite annoying. So we're not going to be able to stack more than 3 high because they all start jittering about and want to fall over. So that's done. That's sorted. That's tidied up. I thought today that we would be... I think I said slurry. We don't need to slurry. The thing that our grass is missing, other than missing grass, which we're going to tackle in a minute, other than missing grass, it's our pH level. Our lime is off. Now, I got some feedback from my man, Fury Machine Gaming. So thank you, Fury. Go check him out. And he's got some realistic content on the go. He always does. But what he said was, or he reminded me that there was the sprayer percentage mod thing, which I use anyway. But he'd said that you knock it down to like 50%, and it's more realistic in its usage and how far it goes and stuff like that. I was only running it at like 80%. I just dropped it down a little bit because I didn't want to feel like I was cheating, but I knew that it uses so much. So we have now dropped that down to 50%. I'm not going to lime this time around. They all need ploughing. All our grass meadows need ploughing. So we might, like, systematically, probably not the right word, plough these up and then lime them, reseed them, and get them going again. We'll probably do 2 meadows at a time. Like, it's not a mad rush. Not a mad rush. But the other thing I think we need to check is the nitrogen state. The fertilizer. Let's just hop the fence. Oh, it's now going to rain. It's going to rain, but there's clear skies. We get that a lot still. I thought that was fixed. Yeah, our nitrogen in areas, although we've spread slurry on here twice, in some areas it's a little bit hit and miss. Okay? Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to put our spreader on the back of something, probably on the hurley, and we're going to chuck some artificial fertilizer on this field and on the far field, just to try and just improve that a little bit. That's going to be one of our jobs today. We shan't do that now that it's raining. And also, what I would like to do, and we probably shouldn't do that now it's raining, but we might, just so we got a job on it. It's not actually raining though, like it says it's raining. We can hear the rain. We're getting shadows of rain, but we've got no rain. Oh, I don't know. Right. But yeah, I might disc this up, because this isn't going to grow. This is now in its second state. This I've killed by accidentally mulching it. So, it says second growth. So, I might disc just this little bit, come down here, disc it, and replant some new seed, just so we got some grass in here. I don't want to leave that bald like that. I mean, it's not going to look nice with a patch, but is what it is. As I say, it is what it is. I don't think there was anything else. There was definitely another mod that I've added, and I just cannot remember for the life of me what it was. Oh, also, I have been and purchased, crafted, in our time, a new weight. It's just a homemade weight. I'm hoping that's going to hold us so we can lift the bales with the case. I haven't really tried it, so we might try that a little bit later. Put some more silage in for the cows while they're out. Why? For the life of it, I know there was something else that I've added in, but I cannot think what it was. We'll see as we go along. Something will happen and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's what it is. Right, let's... While that non-rain is coming, let's just check the weather forecast. Oh, it's gonna rain until 9, so we might even just rest. We might go back in and rest. We'll use that, shall we? Now, with the human factors, at the minute, there's no like negative impact. If we have that running and you ignore it, I mean, it's pointless in having it running if you're going to ignore it. But if you do ignore it, nothing bad is going to happen to you. It's just, you know, it's good that, that I'm not going to die, but I don't think there's a way that Cartech can do anything where something negative is implemented to you, unless there's a way of like slowing down your movement speed. But you can adjust your movement speed in game, so I mean, there's not much else there. But what we'll do, we will head back in. We'll rest until 9, and we'll see what our stats are like. So it's finally stopped raining, so we can go on with some work. It's now 9:30, and as you can see, our thirst is at 35%, but we've rested for like 2.5 hours. So if I can try and do this, eventually this will come, and I will remember these things. So I've rested a while. Okay, so my fatigue, what little fatigue I had, is now fine. So we might see if we can have... Well, we don't need a coffee because we've not got fatigued, have we? So we'll just have a little drink. So if we... So we can drink from our water bottle, or we can have our coffee. So we'll drink from our water bottle. So our thirst has gone down by... What did I say it was? Like 15%? Something like that? I think? Yeah. Something like that. Now, I'm not sure if we can then... So we've already drank, so we've got to wait half an hour until we can drink. But what we can do, I believe, I think this... No, it's not that one. There we go. So I've refilled my water bowl. So if at 10 o'clock I have another little sip of water, I can refill. If we go for lunch at 12, we can completely replenish everything. We'll see how this works. We'll see how this goes. I've used it a little bit. I did a little bit of playing and some testing with it. With Cartec, as I've mentioned this a few times already in a couple of videos. I'm sure, I mean, I haven't watched, I'm a bit behind on his series, so I haven't seen if he's using it in his, because I'm way behind. But I have been using and playing and testing. The first being's fixed with a large meal is sort of a newer aspect of it, because initially you were just constantly trying to drink out your water bottle to gain fluids, so it's just like you were just constantly sipping and running back and refilling. So now if you just have a large meal when you're hungry, then you're good. But this came about because of something that was said in this series, because I often say, right, we'll just wait and rest, or we'll just go and have our lunch and then we'll head out and do X, Y, and Z. And the good man Cartec watches this series, and he was like, oh, that's giving me an idea. And, yeah, so he's built this mod, which is brilliant. Right, now, hopefully, we can just... I'm just going to pull the whole strip down. And I know this will look a little bit rough for a while, but eventually it'll all grow back. And it'll fit in. I know I've said we'll probably plough up some meadows as we go along. But I just don't like having that patchy stain here as I'm walking around and driving about. We messed up the grass, now I'm going to fix it. I did have a little panic when we came in, because it's when I obviously come through for the new day, it said there was a notification for the cattle, and I was like, oh no, one of them's died already, but it hadn't. It was just letting me know that we hadn't looked at the notifications to say that we've transferred cattle in there. But I thought we were going to get a sick one, or one was going to be dead, or I was like, oh no, there was only a few of them to get to start with. Can't be losing them already. I think we're quite well in line with that, so that'll be fine. Oh, that's it. That's what we've added. The neighbour and farmers. So we should, every now and then, it's set to 2. We've got neighbour and farmers out on the map, out working the map. Now, at times this may cause us some performance issues, but so we don't feel so alone, I thought that would be a nice addition. So they're out there doing things, and they just work as workers. We don't get charged for them, I hope. Now, they can be set as, like, competitive neighbours, or just out there doing their own thing. I've not set them as competitive, although we're not doing a lot of contracting. We might need to. So they are finding work of their own, or the jobs that they do aren't being produced by the contracts board. That's how that's working. So we might see some of those as we go around in our day. I think if we go in the map, they will pop up if they're out there doing their thing, which none of them are at the moment. Oh no, it does say they are. So field 98 and field 99. Perhaps they're on their way too. Field 98 and field 99. Oh, they are. They're here. There they be. So they're out doing that. Getting rid of the grass by the looks of it. So that the map can change, though. We're going to have fields that have possibly have crops in that weren't there before. So any fields that I... excuse me, any fields that I want, I'm definitely going to have to go out and purchase. If I want grass in them. If not, I might buy them and there'll be something else. Now we did have seed in here, so we'll quickly pop that to grass. That'll be enough seed, I imagine. Anyway, we're about halfway through, so I probably should say hello, welcome in, welcome back. Welcome back if you are a return viewer, welcome in if you are new. I hope you're well. Trying to get on and do what I can when I can to keep this going for you guys. I know big breaks sort of kill the series. So we shall do our best. Yeah, hopefully you're enjoying it. No, I'm enjoying it. Now, we should be able to, if I remember, have our drink, so that our thirst at the top, so our thirst doesn't get too high. I don't think we'll ever be too worried about our fatigue. But like I say, it just adds a little something for us to manage. I don't think we're far enough over. Still might not be far enough over. Hopefully it's taken. It looks like it is. That's the only reason why it shouldn't, but this is me and things don't always go as I want them to. Right. So if we now try and run down the middle of it, hopefully we'll now get some grass grow. I'm not even certain that it took any seed out, but yep, that's in. So stage 1, stage 2. Good. Good, good, good. One job fixed. So we can pop this away. And then we'll stick the spreader on the back. And we'll have to put some artificial fertilizer down. I think there's lime in there, unfortunately, so we'll have to empty that out. If there is lime, I might just quickly dump it on that meadow, actually. I know you shouldn't lime after, but we can see what the difference is in how it spreads, can't we? That'd be a thing. Let's quickly do some naughty liming. it's still going down pretty quick. So I'm wondering if, because of precision farming, the spread doesn't make any difference. I'm wondering if that is true. Because that just disappeared. Alright, let's stop driving over our newly planted grass. We'll leave that be. And now I need to swap my bags over. That's what we need to do. So the original case weight is there. Don't know why I took it off. Like, I parked it up and I took it off first, which was a bit daft, but that's what I've done. I do daft things at times. Like cut open a bale when I don't need to. That's a me thing. Wheels are right rubbed up against that wall. Scratch all the way down the side of this. 200 grand. No, actually, when it was at 80 grand when it went the most expensive. Got second hand. Still, not an excuse to batter and abuse it, is it? Right, so I need to drop one. Drop two. There we go. Kind of hoping that we'll only need the one bag. We might need them both. We might need more. Oh, I asked a couple of episodes ago about store deliveries. I did only get one response, but that one response was, yes, get store deliveries. Because I do go back and forth a lot. So I'll try and remember that next time. I have to try and remember a new mod each time. Oh, so we will. I'm going to have to do both fields, so we will stick to it. The thing is, because I like to play nice and relaxed, I'm never really in much of a rush. So I don't. For me, I don't mind driving back and forth. But I get that as content, me just driving up and down the road isn't necessarily the best. Hence why we had our first jump cuts last episode. That saved you guys like 10 minutes of me not doing anything, so it made sense to do that. Let's just rest that down. Also, I was looking in the wrong place. Again, thanks to Mr. Kartek. What a legend. The man's helped me out left, right and centre on this series. Pointed out where I should be looking to get my tram lines in. Because I'd forgotten, and I was looking everywhere, and I looked everywhere but where the tram line should be. So maybe if we go to precision farming, tram lines, tram line width. What is our work? Oh, back. What is... So I'm not spraying at the minute, am I? Because we cut it. So what is my working width? So our working width is 20 meters, so we can have like 40-meter tram lines, I think. I think that's how that works. So we might just need one down the middle. So let's do that again. Tram lines. What if I just make it a little bit? I'd like to go up and down. I don't mind a little overlap. So let's try that. So if we go OK. And then we'll do the same on this one. If we had a sprayer, I think it would remember. What did I set it as? 30. I'll say OK. Now, we're in our first growth stage, so we could have driven over it if we wished. Can we see? Did I do it wrong? Okay, well, they're not there. Perhaps they'll show next growth stage. Is what it is. Eventually they might turn up. Eventually they might not. They might just be there next time round. So if I pop my wee little jobber on, we'll do this sort of by eye then, which is also the reason why we got to do it, just because I do these things by eye. We slow ourselves down a little bit. So whereas I feel like this is definitely going out a lot less, so perhaps lime isn't affected in that variable spray mod, where you can set it to whatever percentage of usage you want. But yeah, I trust Fairy Machine Gaming. He is a real farmer. He does a lot of realistic farming in the game. So if he says this is how it works to feel more realistic, I am happy to follow those guidances. So while we are driving along, we can, if I get it right, have a little sip of water. Brings our thirst down a little bit. I would say we could have a snack, but we'll wait. It's nearly lunch. The little things. Love it. I am a simple man that enjoys simple things. Leonard Skinner was singing about me. I'd definitely get hit with copyright if I put that in, so we shan't. That would be cool though, wouldn't it? If we could farm to a little bit of Leonard Skinner. Not only would I be a simple man, I would be a happy man. You could probably bring it down to 5. So let's see what that can do for... Because we've got the natural spread. I do like that it comes with the natural spread option. So it's thicker in the middle and a little bit looser out wide. That'd also be a good reason as to why we'd want to overlap. If we go with the tram lines, if tram lines turn up, yeah, if we go with that overlap, you'd like to think that that would help you in that sense, or I would like to think it would help us in that sense. So if we go back round the top, those of you who have watched for a while know that I like to do the looping methods, just rather than constantly trying to 8-point turn on the edge of my field. Now I think I'm going to try and get this out on Saturday, and again, I would love it if I could get a Balam stream out, I was going to say, at the weekend. But if I put this out on Saturday, put out a stream, we'll kill this video. And Sunday's my partner's birthday, so I shan't be streaming on Sunday. But at some point, we will be streaming Balam. It might even be end of the month, start of next one, because Easter's coming up. So we could try and get some, depends on how well behaved my boys are. I know my partner's got a week off. Try and get a couple of nice long daytime streams on Balam Road over Easter, because I doubt the map will be out by then, unfortunately, just because of how long it takes things to get tested and done and things bouncing back. And I know that there are some changes that FS Modern, or FS Landscape, sorry, has made to the map. So whether every upload is bringing the map back in the waiting order, but I know he's making changes and he's doing different things. So but yeah, hopefully the time will come that I can get on and show that off for you guys. Which also means when I'm getting a little bit of me time, I'm now trying not to be playing on it, which is hard. But this today is the first time, probably in nearly 2 weeks, that I've had an opportunity to sort of relax in and record in the morning. I do have a man come around to look at the bathroom a little bit later, so it won't be one of them record. Like I said, just have lots of things going on. That is one of the most minor things that we could possibly have as well at the minute. Like someone's coming to look at the bathroom, but that's something that's just interrupting the day. Whereas today could have been a good day to be recording, would be the day that we have something else happening. Just chuck a little bit out on this side here. Doesn't need a lot. It's barely putting out a litre. And we'll round the top, we'll go down the side, and that'll probably be it for this field. But at least then we should get a slightly better yield off them. But yeah, so once we've done this field, we will then take advantage and have our lunch. So that'll give us a rest. We'll have something to eat. We'll progress time on an hour, and yeah, we'll put the human factors into practice. I do get a little bit obsessed with the thirst, which is why when I was testing it, I quickly brought up, I'm constantly drinking from my bottle and having to run back to the farm. Being 31% thirsty is nothing. It's me sitting here right now. I am probably more dehydrated than my farmer, and I'm not running off to go get a drink. It's just the numbers, but I like that. I like that it adds that more an extra gamification. And who doesn't like that? Well, not everyone, but I like that sort of thing. Hence why I pretend to do it like we go for our lunch, we have a break, and yeah, it's a bit of me. So we have a little drink. Why not? Just cruising around, have a little drink. This area doesn't need a lot, but down the bottom we'll drop a little bit, and then we'll just drive around. We'll probably stick the last, if that'll fit in anyway, the last of that fertiliser from the big bag as well. We'll stick that in the spreader, because if when we come back we want to empty it, it means we'll only have one random bag sitting around, which would be nice. Talking about being thirsty has made me want to have a drink. So I'm going to have a little slurp. Now our grass, although that doesn't look overly fertilised, that is where it's supposed to be. Our grass always says that it's very good. So we'll take that as it is very good. Swing that around a little bit, just a little bit. Right. Hopefully the rest of the bag will fit in. Be nice if it does. And as I often say, it's not that I'm OCD, I'm just a bit anal. Which is completely different. It's a bit more of a choice. So when we come back, I will put the rest of that in there. Because then we can empty out, and it will be a singular bag. So it's 12 o'clock. We shall rest for an hour, have some lunch, and then we'll head out and we'll go to the other field and spread on there. That'll be our thing. We'll also fill our water bottle up because we're down to quarter of a litre. All these new things to manage. So we've had our sleep, as you can see. Fatigue has gone down. So then if I go to... I can't remember it all again. Fill my water bottle up. I believe it is... full meal L. Right, full meal, 100% reset on everything. We've had a big lunch. It's cost us £20. Our thirst is replenished. Our hunger is replenished. Our fatigue is replenished. We are good to go for an afternoon's work. Love it. It's management numbers. I know it's management numbers. But it's all the game is anyway. It's all the game is. It's number management. Whether it's trying to get your yields higher, whether it's trying to your finances, your cows, doing anything for those, it is numbers management. It's simulation. It is internal spreadsheet, and now we've got it for us as well. We are making sure that we are fed, we are rested, we are hydrated. Brilliant. Thank you, Kartek. And again, mate, a massive thank you for allowing me early access to it and to let me play about with it and have a little a tiny little say and input and feedback to you, mate. So yeah, I appreciate it. Makes me smile. Hopefully it gets on the hub without any real issues. Wonder what they'll make of it. I wonder what Giants will make of it. Be interesting. Oh, forgot to indicate. Naughty me. There's no one about. I did go off and have a look to see if there was an auto drive route for Fields of Tyrone, and there isn't. There isn't an auto drive route yet, so maybe the guys will get to that at some point. I know that they're restructuring their channel and the way they release stuff and do things. Go support them, the auto drive guys, because they do make the game so much easier and so much better with what they do and being able to get out and have your workers do stuff. I don't use it a lot just because the way I play the game, I like to do everything myself, but it is handy sometimes, even for people like me. And please, when you head over there and you do a little bit of use their videos and do their thing, try and stick around and watch the video rather than just jump to the end for them, because they don't get revenue from someone jumping to the end and just getting the download link. Watch the video, even if you just pop it on in the background, which is what I quite often do when I go and get a link. I go get my link, I download it, and I just leave the video running, or leave a couple of them running. It helps them out. It takes time to do what they do, so. Now this is the one where we sent a worker up and they did like major fertilisation, so we don't need to spread here. Hossing up ahead a bit too quick. And off we go. Yeah, I'll spread on. See what difference it makes. I feel like this is a nice, super chilled episode today. I think a few days ago when I recorded the other one, because it was back and forth with the animals, I felt like I had to rush myself a little bit, because I knew that driving back and forth for animals wasn't going to be all that interesting. And then it turns out I'd mess up at the end anyway, and I'd completely obliterate the bales, so swings and roundabouts on all fronts. I'm hoping we'll, if those cows do require straw, it may be a case of I have to bring them in and out of shed every morning and every night. Although they're not milking now, it'd probably be a good habit to like bring them out at 6:30, 7, because with the Real-Ish-Tic milking, I think they get milked at 6 in the morning, or 6 AM, 6 PM. So if we can put them out at like 6:30 and try and be about to bring them in for 5:30. It's a lot though, isn't it? It's a lot being a farmer. But they do milk in that meadow, so it's just to have them in overnight for the bedding, I guess. So I'm not quite sure how it's going to count or work out the analytics for that as to whether they've had enough or not enough. Because if I move them, so maybe it's only on that last day, as long as there's straw in there on that last day, they've got enough. I'm not getting any fertiliser down because I'm overlapping with that really heavy fertilised area. So yeah, we just have to see how we do with the red tape. I'd really like to get the animal care down, at least, just so that our cows are happy and produce, and that we don't get fined. Just seems weird that it says straw, but there is no straw trigger or no straw input. So I'm wondering if it is because of that mod. What I'll have to do, I'll have to go and place that down somewhere else in a different save without all the mods in. Just put that one down and see if that still has a straw. Because I drove around for quite a while with a bale on, pressed the discharge button, and it just didn't discharge anywhere. The next thing will be I'll have to get a more traditional bale shredder and blower and drive around the whole field and see if it just starts firing off somewhere. Do we have crop sensors on here? I don't think that was available for this mod, was it? I don't think it was. Our little throwback mod. Not sure what our time is like for the day. We might have a little look and see if there are any good cows. I'm not sure how many cows are going to fit comfortably in that pen either. I'm sure there's something somewhere that'll tell me if it's overcrowded or not. Or I might just have to wait and find out. I'll be like, oh no, that was way too many. Should have only been 8. I don't think it'll be as smart as that as to tell me the maximums and minimums I should be using, but I'm hoping there'll be some sort of feedback for us. Does look like we are making a massive difference to a lot of this. But we are doing it. Also got more rain on the way as well. I think it's not until a little bit later on this afternoon though. There we go. This should give us a bit more of a show. So if I bring up the map, so there's someone working in field 12, and there is a neighbour working down in field 65, out doing their thing. I feel like 12 has been cultivated, so it's no longer a grass meadow as well. Perhaps I should set it so they do compete for the contracts, so they don't start creating their own and start cultivating up. Because I think if there's a grass meadow, it's not going to ask to cultivate, it's going to ask to cut. But the neighbours might not do that. I can't remember, but there was a list of jobs that the neighbours would work, and I think it's like harvest, spraying, cultivating, ploughing. I'm not sure if they cut grass. They certainly wouldn't do the baling and stuff, I don't think. That gave us a little improvement there. Right, let's turn it off. Hopefully that'll help to improve those a little bit. And also with the human factors, that is tied in to I think it's the like absolute time. So it doesn't matter whether you play on times 5, times 10, times 20, 0.5. The values that are used will be the same as to someone. So if you're playing on times 10, I'm playing on times 5, you will get the same value usage as I get. You can't sort of cheat it in a way so you don't have to do it because you're gonna speed up or slow down. The only thing that changes is the difficulty, and that's just the cooldowns and percentages recovered that change then, not the actual time frame in which you can, or in which it wears down. I'm sure there will be a point where, when it's not so fresh in my mind, I will forget about it and it'll just be like 100%. And I'll be like, oh, dear, I need to go and go fix that. Need to go see the doctor. I am 100% hungry and 100% thirsty. I am completely malnourished. If there was a way to incorporate a negative to it, though, that would be cool. Even if it was something like, once fatigue gets to like 80%, you get, if there was a way to add like the blinking from ATS and ETS, like the fatigue and the sighing, or that would be so cool. I just think that'd be too much to add in. That'd be a lot. It'd be quite a complex thing, that, but yeah, it's just, that's for me, that's the only thing that's missing, is a negative to not doing it. But if you're adding it, it is because you like the management aspect of these things. So the numbers should be enough to make you stay on top. Because it's not like you get fined for not looking after yourself, or have a negative monetary thing happening. It would have to be something to you. And like I say, the other thing would be to lock in speed, your ability to walk. That'd be cool. I wouldn't be against it. Not gonna lie, I would not be against that. Just swing this down here for now. With all these sheds, we shouldn't have to leave anything out in the open. Now, the other solution for my bales, wanting to wobble and fly about, would be if I was to figure out how, I'm sure it's not that complex, the store things anywhere where you can place down the floor. And I'm sure you're supposed to be able to place it so it fits anything. I'm not sure if that's true or if I've understood that correctly. There might be 3 or 4 set shapes and sizes that fit in places. But whether we could put a storage at the back there and maybe just so they would store in nicer. Because it would be nice if they were all 4 high. It'd be nice if they were 5 high. I'm sure that's what they were before they all fell over. I think I did a 3 and a 2. But, yeah, as soon as they were 4, they just wobbled and leaned forward. Something else that we need to do, or that we should probably do, is monitor our cows. That is a thing. So while we're here, yes, it is a thing. Let's get rid of that. And we want to go down to... See, that's our spray levels. I'll show you, I'm at 50. Lime, 50%. Maybe that needs to come even further down. Where is monitors? There we go. So we've got our 12 cows. Apply monitors to all. So we'll have to pay for that. But we'll know how much water they're getting through and manure they're producing, slurry. Now, I don't think they're going to put any slurry into our slurry tank. I don't think that's going to be connected. I'm not sure what the pull rate is to that, whether it is just connected to that. And from what I gather, they're not pulling manure to there either, which is fine. The manure is going out to fertilise this grass and keep this grass growing, although they shouldn't really be eating their poopy grass while they're pooping in it. We need to get some straws as well for artificial insemination. But let's quickly have a little look. I'll have a look online. Just climb over the gate. Have a look online and see if there are any good cows to go and collect from the animal dealer. Okay, so we've got one. Average isn't bad, as average is average. It literally is what it is. 2, 3, 4. Could be 5. Let's do a 5, 6, 7. We might do one trip and go and get the 6 best cows. I think we might go do that. And that'll be our April trip up there. Because we're only going to go once a month. I think we'll do that. Just because we need to get the cows in, because we need to be aging them up and growing them. I'll empty. Does that have a? Doesn't have a cover on it, does it? No. Yeah, we'll age. Yeah, need to be age. What am I talking about? Yeah, need to age them up. Be getting them fertilised. Soon we're going to get some milk, so we need more cows. It's that simple. We're not going to take the Hurley. We will take the Lamborghini. And for a while, it's probably going to be pretty quiet on the farm. So unless I decide we're going to go and find a contract or two, we'll probably progress forward some time throughout as well. As like I say, this isn't planned to be a big, oh, let's do lots of contracts. We are running our farm. Every now and then it's nice. But we need to wait for our grass to grow. That's the only downside to cutting all at once. That we've got to wait for it all to grow at once. So we've got to wait for our grass to grow. Wait for our wheat to grow. Shut that gate. Wonder if we'll see any neighbours out and about. digging up beautiful meadows and turning them into hopefully appropriate crops. Anyway, if they're going to turn them into arable fields, hopefully it's appropriate. I want to start planting cotton around here. So, you know, if we passed a shop, we could go get a snack. We could do that now. We can add some RP in. Now, I did look in the... I didn't even say this to Tom Carter. I did look in the all the scripting of the mod and the Lua files to see if I could move the UI. I couldn't figure it out. So perhaps I can. I don't know about Lua scripts and doing a lot with that. But when I thought I was moving it, it didn't move. So I put it all back and left it back to how it was. So yeah, if you're watching this, buddy, and you know a way of having that as a couple of settings so we could move it, I'd love to put it closer either to the time and all that, or bottom left where nothing goes, where nothing is down there. Because I tried moving it and I couldn't get it to move. You can hide it, you can turn it off. It doesn't have to be on. You can hide that within the game settings, and I'm assuming if I hide HUD, it'll disappear with the HUD. But there is a set in the settings you can hide it, but then there's no other way of tracking it. As many of you know, I am a sucker for a clean HUD, or as clean as possible. That's why I don't use a lot of the other mods that put things on the HUD down the right hand side. I'm sure they're great mods, they help and keep track of a lot of stuff, the sort of stuff that I forget regularly and have to keep going into menus to find. But I just don't like all the information up on there, and then remembering a new button to hide things is difficult for me to switch things on and off. At least we got our field work done in time before the next little rain game. Hey, there's a neighbour. He's out fertilising. Look at that. It's the simple things. He's got himself a tiny little fence. That's all he needs. Why not? To be fair, that's probably the sort of tractors we should have had. Smaller. Compact. What is this reversing manoeuvre I'm doing here? Hey? It's not reversing, is it? I have messed this up. I got excited by the neighbour. Overshot me mark. We went out of cab last time, and sometimes I just want to prove that I can do stuff, like to show you guys that I can actually drive these vehicles and I don't have to be out of cab. Not that there's anything to prove. You guys still care if I have to go in or out of cab. Most of you would probably prefer if I started going out of cab a bit more. But that's not how we roll. Right. Oh, can we not? We can. Filters. And we want them healthy. I'm not worried about names. Right, value. Minimum is average. Minimum is average. Confirm. Because we don't want to crap cows, so we don't need to see them. We don't want a bull. Probably should have just put females as well. pressing F for filters like an absolute goon. Right, we want females. Let's do this again. And it's not often I show this sort of thing. It's not often I see people doing it, so there you go. It just makes life easier. There we are. So we can see all the cows pretty much that we want. I think we got some. Skip that one. And that one, that is good. We're not getting highlands at the minute. Oh, that's a good highland though. That is a good highland. Right. How many have I selected? Lose count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Five. I'll go with you because you're closer to being ready for us. Only 6. Right, so we're going to buy them. They're probably going to be expensive. Oh, over 8 grand this time. So they are. That's the best 6 cows we've purchased yet. Oh, that is good. 6 more cows. So what's that? 18? 18 cows we now have. Building a herd. I will say again, it's raining. We got the sound. Clear sky. And no rain. What is going on with the weather? Oh, there's some rain. I saw a little bit then. Clouds are slowly rolling in. Taking their jolly good time to catch up with us. There is an automatic FOV mod as well, which I was thinking about using, so that when we were out, because it can store like different FOVs for different positions. So when we were out of cab, we had sort of a wider field of view, but in cab, not quite there, but there would be, like the wheel would be underneath you, wouldn't it? You wouldn't see that much. That's got to be a closer to realistic. I know when Redneck Gamer, when he streams on Twitch, quite often he'll spend a bit of time getting his FOV so that the supports frame him when he's in cab, because that is what you see. Or we just need to be able to move us, because even when you look down, like, you're not quite where you would be. Your head to be a bit further forward. So it's not even necessarily a field of view that needs to change, just camera position needs a bit further forward in there. I mean, some people, and it's each to their own, everyone plays their own way. Some people like to have as far back and as wide a field of view as possible. We see that a lot with Euro Truck and American Truck, where they sit there driving and they can see out of both door windows without turning their head. If that's how you want to play, that's how you play. That's what you're comfortable with. Now that we're back, I have to try and remember it. Have a little drink. That'll drop us down 6%, which was 25% of our 26% of first. So it doesn't drop you down to 25 or take off 25% of a whole. It's 25% or whatever percentage you're on for your difficulty takes off that percentage of your current rating. But I must remember, whenever we sleep, like through the night, I must remember to have a big meal in the morning if not you wake up thirsty and hungry. Now I think probably for the size of that pasture, 18 cows might be my maximum that I should probably have there. Because it's not a big bit of grass. There's 18 cows might be too many. We can't really see fully on how much they're eating because I put the silage in there. Then obviously not now going for the meadow grass. So it also says straw pellets as well as straw pellets. That's going to bug me every episode, I think. Not necessarily bug me, but you know what I mean. It's going to be a thing that I notice and talk about. Now here, I can't see where my gate is. I'm not far out. Not quite hitting the wall. It's not bad. Oh, go on, son. I'm gonna drive into the gate, but yeah. Who doesn't like a smooth reverse? So, see if we can get these in there. Select all, move selected. Move them over. Okay. So I think that the pasture said it'll take quite a few cows. But we now have, I think, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got at least 6 visible anyway, so it could be more. With at least 6 cows that we can try and get artificially inseminated. Get them knocked up. So food-wise is good. So 60. It says it'll hold 60 cows. I think 20 would be loads in there. 20 would be loads in there. Is what it is. Right. Let's get this put away. Try not to smack everything about. Make them bales nervous when you get near them. There's a horse pronto 9 meters on sale. Now there is, I did notice, a mod as well that puts for sale items on display in the forecourt. Now you do have to go in and edit the map. The instructions for that are in the mod. But I'm not sure if we have enough forecourt space to have that as a thing, just because there is a lot of machinery and stuff up at the forecourt on this map. But that looks a cool little thing, so you can just see it. All the used equipment is out and on display. Now they should have enough feed there, they'll be fine for at least until tomorrow. But that is going to be it for this one. We might come back next month. Might be, yeah, it might be May, because I don't think I'm going to have a lot to do in April. I don't intend on going out and doing a ton of contracts or anything like that. I'll make sure the cows are fed, obviously. Each time I will fiddle about with a straw bale and try and get some straw in there. If not, I'll keep topping up straw in our shed. But I think we might, come May, we might have to go out and see if we can find ourselves some work, just to make sure we've got some money coming in while we're waiting for our cows to grow and our crop to grow and our grass to grow, because we've got no income coming in. But that is it for this episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you liked the introduction and the addition of the human factors. So once again, massive thanks to Kartek for that. You absolute legends. This is my cup of tea. If you have enjoyed it, give a big fat thumbs up down below. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, turn the bell notification on, find out when new videos are going live. As always, comments and feedback down there. Again, while content is to a minimum, massive thank you to the channel members. Please do not feel obliged to maintain that while the content is low. Those that do, you are absolutely brilliant. I do appreciate it. It really does help us. So thank you for that. Ultimately, you guys have a wonderful day, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.